Hello everybody, my name is Anthony. Welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4 New World Order as now the NKVD. Let us continue on from last left off. So, we are rebuilding some local communities. We'll soon be able to have some benevolent rule. We'll actually remove this negative 50% penalty across the board, which will be quite nice because right now, everything's a little bit bad. Facilities quite low, more support's pretty much shitty. The reign of mad scientists over and the people around the city are whirling coming out of the open again for the first time in years. The NKVD have promised an end to the kidnappings and cruel experimentations that have made life here so awful for years. However, with the new proper change, people are finally standing up for themselves. People have had their lives ruined and their friends and family stolen from them, and they won't be quiet about it. They want some sort of compensation for these awful things. The value of their lives lost is incalculable, but the people demand we calculate it all the same and give back to those who have been affected. Grieving wives and husbands, mothers and fathers, sons and daughters, they've united and put forward several official requests for various forms of compensation. Internal investigations have already been put to that toll in a staggering number, and repaying for all of them will be quite an insane task. This does not even include all the other objects stolen and destroyed by Lysenko. Caution must be shown while handling these grieving people. Stability goes down by 5%. I mean, stability wasn't even that high to begin with, so it's not really that big of a deal. Let's get our basic anti-tank weapons increasing in the right direction, because we have so many rifles. They're like 9,000 AK-47s, so it's not a big deal. We don't have a lot of anti-tank weapons, because, again, we're not importing any materials. Which I'm assuming is giving a massive penalty. Where is it here? You have more than 80% poverty rate, lack of resources. That's only a 10% penalty, all things considered. That's not that bad. And actually, okay, that's at 20%. NKVD are still going to be a little bit dissatisfied. Again, I don't know why. But we're actually it's in a strange issue where, because Lysenko is no longer in charge, I have no way of actually getting more population into my manpower pool. At least before, I could spend a little bit of guns and political power to get 1,000 manpower. Now I can't do anything. And, we're just not getting more population. I'm assuming war sports, like, being so bad is really affecting this. Like, 0.003% of population mobilizing per day. That's, like, nothing. That is so meaningless. So I guess we'll prepare some more, attacks. We're going to have some NKVD dissatisfaction. Again, there's nothing I can actually do about that game, so I don't know what you're wanting from me. Like, I can't buy it down. Like, I've been buying it down for so long that it just immediately fails. Okay. Let's raid against the Royal League. Apparently, their defense are quite high. Which is not a great sign for us. Again, they have so much manpower. 1.9 thousand. It's a little bit worrying. I'm guessing they're just training up a lot more troops. Okay, 409 political power. Reunite loved ones is going to take another 10 days. So in about 40 days, we'll see some good work. So let us motorize. This is all for motorized stuff, though. Which is like, I don't care about that. That's all 1968 stuff. Trucks, I don't think matter at all. I mean, might as well get, like, some land doctrine, I guess. I really don't know what else to even research in this tree. Because, you know, we're not a big country. There's no reason to look at all these tiny little things. Because, you know, we're basically in a backwards, like, backwater shithole. And, like, we can't change any of these things. Okay, we've reunited some loved ones. Let us now have some benevolent rule. We'll see what tree it decides to give us. Hopefully it's not going to be something too bad. We got some food for the hungry, which I think is a little bit of a stability boost. More support, a little bit of stability boost, and a little bit of political power. Not too bad. At least it pays back for the political power cost we used to raid the Earl League. And also, you know, cause them some casualties. I mean, cause us some casualties as well, but I'm just hoping it was worse for the AI than it was for me. Okay, you have actually no manpower right now, but I'm assuming, yeah, it's probably because you're training up troops. So, like, what do these ones do down here for you guys? League's training. Full access. Storm on the horizon. Time has come to fight for the survival of Orenburg. Okay. I mean, it looks like they're getting a little bit better, which is, you know, good for them. I'm just surprised they did it. I couldn't do it when I was trying. Okay, so we have 10 more days. The mountain. Oh, okay, we're actually going to have only a 25% boost for everything. That's not too bad. It could be worse. We'll see what kind of tree we get next. 32, 33, 34, and 30. Oh, some pieces ended. I'm assuming they finally got annexed. Good. I mean, wait, the Republic of South Africa won? Wait how the hell did that happen? I'm a little bit suspicious here. Yeah, there's nothing I can do in the focus tree right now. But right now we're recovering, so we got a little bit more stability. War support's going a little bit higher. Does this do anything? The age of the NKVD have begun. Is there anything I can actually do now, or is that just the end of the tree? I feel like there's got to be more, right? I really wish I could target my neighbors. We were so close to actually being able to annex somebody. We were like a hairpin away from getting something done. We also have all our troops stationed down here, just in case Derwanger decides to do something. Is there anything else after this? I mean, might as well start doing something, I guess. Construction speed. I don't know. So we'd be doing here. Broken piece. Okay. Push back to the NKVD. We'll see what happens. Broken piece. It is the evening when the NKVD guards squad finish their work in another village. They know what is to be done. What they're doing is just taking census results for healthcare and rehabilitation and promoting local grassroots movements. It is perfectly innocent agenda. Never mind the solemn faces and the whispered remarks and the gnawing fear of the face of anyone, adult or child, who gets close to the guard. The revolution is not always welcome, but it has always been necessary, at least in their eyes. The squad gathers its men, pulls information, and prepares the necessary material. The report of the Central Command will be expected to be of a certain caliber, or there will be consequences best left unspoken. After all, Lysenko's death didn't dissolve army discipline. A shot goes off in the night. A squad member looks around in a panic, all save one, their leader, who falls in the dirt. The squad, tired, ill-equipped, and disoriented, makes notice of to as an improper command autonomy decision. Shots ring out in volleys, punctuated by shouts, screams, and some of children. By the time the squad hurries out of the ruins the next morning, there's no evidence that the village and all 246 civilians in it was ever there, save for the endless list of fairway of Black Mountain and those who are easily purged. It's time for a change. Well, push back from the locals, placate or punish. Okay, I like the last one. Just, are we a cancer? Push back from the locals, 35 days. So what does this actually push back from the locals? We can placate them. We are not those men. We are the NKVD. Or we can punish them. We'll placate them. I mean, I feel like they've been through enough. A lesson learned. People learn their lesson, and our actions, but so we. Our actions have consequences on what we become. Remind them of their savior. Bring back the list. Spies in the community. Do one of these let us attack somebody? Hopefully. League connections. Do you... We're just gonna, like, kill everybody. I'm not too sure. I mean, we'll see what happens. You know, it could be anything. But, you know, based on how most of this mod works out, I'm going to assume it's going to be a bad time. Okay, so we have 14 days left on that tree. Derwanger, I have no idea where the hell he is. They have 11 loot. But of course, the AI doesn't actually know how to use the loot, so I'm not too worried. Like, do I even want to attack them? Is there a reason to really attack anybody right now? I guess for the bonuses. So we might as well only target people who we know we're going to absolutely destroy. Because attacking any other major factions, like, we can lose that, and we don't want to lose because that's actually going to have some penalties for us. And penalties, you might be surprised to learn, are bad for us. It's weird the manpower actually is, like, kind of spread out in a weird way. Like, it doesn't do them all evenly, and I don't know why. The concerns of the peasantry. Apparently, some of the peasants have become rather concerned with the level of government presence in their space of privacy. While this is not has yet to result in any partisan action or violence against our men, having little local support is somewhat worrying. Reports from peasants refusing to respond when questions, as well as children hiding from our vehicles in fervor, painting a rather bleak picture of our relations with the peasants. After all, how are we supposed to protect them if they don't trust us? Political power goes down by 35 points. Oh no! The worst thing that could ever happen. Losing 35 of my political power. Okay, don't raid me. Devil in the mountains. Yeah, they're doing army training. I'm guessing they've just done their entire tree. But please don't hurt me. Country, I mean, it's actually a negative 5% penalty. You guys go back here. This is all the same one. Some reports combat. I think this is literally the exact same pop-up, so we can just ignore that for now. Memories of monsters. After years of Lysenko's abuse of the people under his domain, many of the villages lie almost empty. People who remain struggle to survive, with most of their able-bodied laborers abducted and vanished forever into the labs. The supplies of food, medicine, and other essentials remain chronically low as a result. Hoping to show the people that they were on their side, the NKVD squadron visited a village lying in the shadow of a mountain earlier today. They brought with them packs of pre-war medicine, tinned goods, stored clothes, and other supplies that would help the traumatized village rebuild itself after so much horror. With the hope of a new beginning for the troubled region, the soldiers approached the outskirts of the settlement slowly with their weapons holstered. As they reached the outskirts, the commanding officer called out to the people, "NKVD, we are here to help." The crack of gunshot broke the quiet as a bullet narrowly whizzed past the head of one of the men. A small but extraordinarily angered mob of residents began to emerge in the town, hurling abuse towards the soldiers. They called them monsters and collaborators with Lysenko and demanded to know what had happened to their loved ones. The commanding officer desperately attempted to calm the crowd until a second shot caught him in the shoulder. Losing their nerve, some of the other soldiers drew their weapons and began firing shots over the crowd. The assembled mobs quickly dispersed in panic, but the assorted gunmen in their hiding places began to pick up their assaults. Through pain-gritted teeth, the commanding ordered his men to fall back. No aid would be granted this day, and a knee-jerk retaliation would surely do the NKVD public image no favors. Political power. Oh no, not minus 15. There we go. So we can basically kill these guys pretty easily. Get a little bit of supplies off of them. We got a little bit better decryption. Let's get a little bit better encryption. Because, you know, what I don't know. Like, what else are we going to use, honestly? So they should die relatively easy. We're going to placate the people soon. The raid has been successful. Spoils of war. Again, I think that's just 500 guns. And right now we have 10,000 guns. You know what? They're World War I guns too, so they're not even actually good guns at all. So they are slowly training up. Do they have all their supplies? They don't have enough manpower. Not enough manpower to train any further. Well, we are slowly recruiting more of our population. And that is good. Because we do need more troops, just in general. The Thaw. As we've already ascertained from a short time, we were given a rule over the city. The common folk of Russia grew tired of tyranny that imposed on them by anti-Soviet extremists and megalomaniacs for more than 2 decades. It became especially clear during the times when Lysenko waged an open war against his own people for his anti-humane experiments. Even though Lysenko is gone, the people are still reluctant to obey the governmental orders and continue to regard any state interveners as an act of violence towards them. It is clear that in such a situation we can't afford to rely on terror and coercion as a measure to keep the population in line with our order, as long as the memory of Lysenko nightmare is still fresh in memory. Thereby, we give the residents of the city all liberties they need, but were deprived of for a long time. We won't follow the situation in the countryside, nor fall to the anarchy of the past as long as we stand, and we shall not interfere with their lives so as long as they faithfully perform their duties and do not stand against us. Seeing our benevolent nature and convincing themselves in our well-meaning intentions, the population of the city will cease to attempt to topple our rule and will dutifully working for the good of their new nation. Without the grace of the lands of milk and the honey of Orenburg or the safety of the League, they instead will be laboring to build a better future here around the mountain. Given the necessary freedoms, the people will grow to respect the government institutions that they themselves have created and will rebuild society that was shattered during the reign of the Soko. I mean, that sounds okay. You know, why not? Let's build some new research facilities as well. That's, yeah, it seems like a good time. So what do we have? Bring back the list. Counter-revolutionaries are certain people with moral failings or danger to our rule. How we're starting these, okay. We're probably going to want to get rid of this. Or, you know, do down this tree. Improve text. NKVD science. Mass propaganda. Centralized authority. I really just like Are We a Cancer? That's just a really good name for an event. So we have 70 days. Probably like one of the longer. These ones are all 21 days, so they're actually really cheap to go through. Which is quite good for us. We can see that these guys are slowly rebuilding up. They don't like me very much. They're watching the border. They're apparently going to have a little bit of friendship with Orenburg. We'll see if, I mean, an alliance between the two would not be great for us. And in fact, because of that, I'm actually going to deploy these troops a little bit early. And put them straight into purple. I know they're going to be a little bit green, but honestly, I think that's fine. We'll just, you know, we'll just use them to raid a little bit, and that'll get them some experience. And that, I think, should be fine. Free filling factories? What do I want to do with you? A radar station. You know, let's build one radar station. Why not? And then we will... I was going to say support equipment. But that also doesn't have, like, some resources, so... I mean, what else can we really do? Improved anti-air guns? I mean, that doesn't seem like it's actually going to help us out very much. Alright, let's just build some support equipment. Like, how much supplies do we actually have in our country? We have a ton of steel, okay. But apparently these other two countries have nothing. Orenburg has steel, we have a shit ton of steel, but everyone else is basically poor as hell. And to me, that seems okay. Not a big deal. You still have 4 divisions. You're trying to destroy the League. You will declare war on the Earl League. So, war breaking out between the two. That is... it is dangerous. I'm not too sure how I actually really want this to play out. Like, who do I want to win? Do I want... I think I probably actually want you in charge. But it's a bit hard to tell. But of course, they might be bringing Orenburg into the war as well. So we will, we'll see what they do. Because right now, I can't do shit. But what I'm going to prepare raids against Derwanger. Because if he's going to be at war, we might... I do think I want it back to Earl League. For what it's worth. They declare war on the Earl League. We'll see if friendship and labor... If that calls in Orenburg, I'm not too sure. Of course, they only one province a border. Which honestly isn't that much. We're bringing in our soldiers. I don't know if they get experience from this. And there's no way I can directly intervene in this war. As much as I would actually like to, I don't think there's anything I can do. We got 6 more days until lesson learned is done. The troops are being moved in. They're not... Oh, no, they're at war with Orenburg. Okay, so they actually have created a faction. The Southern Ural United Defense League. So what happens? Either... I'm pretty sure Derwanger's going to lose. These two are going to win. I mean, they just outnumber him. And we're also aiding by attacking into them. I mean, there's no one there defending. So we will see. A betrayal of trust. It seems our kindness was warranted. With the new freedoms given to the peasantry, there was an attempt to make amends. All they have done is engage more effectively in acts of resistance. Reports are pouring in, a coordinated insurgent attacks on key points of infrastructure like road junctions, power stations, and telephone poles. Most of our forces have been pulled out of the villages, unable to withstand the constant pressure of partisans and resistance fighters alike. The current situation is untenable. We will have to act quickly and decisively to get the people back in line or risk a relapse of our government. Apparently it didn't work. But I do think this is going to be a good time to end this episode. So thanks everybody for watching. My name is Anthem. If you've enjoyed, run a thumbs up. If not, you can always thumb down. If you want to subscribe, and goodbye.